Have you ever wondered why some men effortlessly draw women in, while others constantly struggle for attention? It's not about luck, looks, or wealth. It's about understanding the hidden forces that shape attraction. Women aren't just drawn to what's on the surface. They're wired to respond to deeper, often unspoken traits in a man. Strength, presence, and control aren't just desirable. They're psychological triggers that distinguish between being forgettable and unforgettable. Most men focus on what they say to a woman, but attraction happens before a single word is spoken. It's in the way you carry yourself, the energy you project, and the boundaries you refuse to break. Women are testing you, even when you don't realize it, drawn to men who hold their ground and subtly repelled by those who give in too easily. If you've ever been confused by a woman's behavior, one moment interested, the next distant, chances are you missed these hidden cues. Today, we're breaking down the 10 hidden female weaknesses that most men overlook. Master these, and you won't have to chase, because attraction will work in your favor. Let's begin. 1. Women crave emotional stability in a man. Women are emotional by nature, but that doesn't mean they're unstable. It means their emotions guide their decisions, especially in relationships. The one thing a woman craves more than anything is emotional certainty. She wants to feel secure, to know that the man she's with isn't easily shaken by stress, conflict, or her own shifting emotions. When a man remains calm, steady, and unbothered by drama, it creates a deep sense of trust and attraction. Most men make the mistake of reacting emotionally, either by trying too hard to fix her problems or becoming frustrated when she's upset. But the moment you let her emotions dictate your mood, you've lost control. A woman doesn't want a man who crumbles under pressure. She wants someone who can weather any storm with quiet confidence. If she senses that your emotions are dependent on hers, she instinctively pulls away. True emotional certainty means standing firm no matter what. When she's upset, you remain calm. When she tests you, you don't flinch. When life throws challenges your way, you handle them without panic or self-doubt. This kind of presence isn't just attractive, it's magnetic. Women don't just want a man who makes them feel good. They want a man who makes them feel safe. And that safety comes from your ability to control yourself, no matter the situation. 2. The less available you are, the more she wants you. Scarcity creates desire. It's a simple truth of human nature. The less available something is, the more valuable it becomes. This is why women are irresistibly drawn to men they can't fully have. A man who is too eager, too available, or too predictable loses his appeal, because there's no mystery, no challenge, nothing to chase. When a woman feels like she has already won you over without effort, her interest fades. On the other hand, the man who holds back, who maintains his independence, who doesn't make her the center of his world, he triggers something deep within her. She starts to wonder about him, to question what he's thinking, to crave his attention. The uncertainty fuels her attraction. Women don't chase men who give them everything too soon. They chase men who make them earn their presence. This doesn't mean playing games or being distant for no reason. It means having a life, a purpose, and a level of self-respect that prevents you from over-investing too soon. The moment a woman senses that she doesn't completely have you, she will work harder to win you. It's not about manipulation. It's about understanding the psychology of desire. The men who master this never have to chase, because women naturally gravitate toward what they can't fully possess. 3. A deep voice commands attention and respect. Attraction isn't just about words, it's about presence. Before a man even speaks, a woman has already felt his energy, his posture, his movements, the way he carries himself. All of it sends signals that she picks up on instinctively. But one of the most powerful and overlooked triggers of attraction is a deep, controlled voice. Studies have shown that men with lower-pitched voices are perceived as more dominant, confident, and attractive. It's not just preference, it's biology. A deep voice signals high testosterone, strength, and authority, making it impossible to ignore. But presence goes beyond tone. It's the way a man enters a room, how he holds eye contact without hesitation, how he moves with purpose rather than fidgeting or rushing. A strong presence creates an invisible pull, making women take notice without even realizing why. On the other hand, nervous energy, slouched posture, unsure speech, or restless movements signals weakness, instantly lowering attraction. A man who masters his presence doesn't need to chase or convince. He doesn't need to rely on flashy words or overcompensate with arrogance. He simply exists with an unshakable calm, and that alone makes him magnetic. Women don't just hear confidence, they feel it, and once they do, they can't look away. 4. Women can't resist a man who walks away. Nothing unsettles a woman more than a man who is willing to walk away without hesitation. Most men, when faced with the possibility of losing a woman, panic. They chase, they plead, they over-explain, doing anything to regain her attention. But the moment a woman senses that a man needs her more than she needs him, the balance shifts and attraction fades. She no longer sees him as a challenge, but as something predictable, something already conquered. A man who can walk away sends a completely different message. He communicates strength without saying a word. He shows that his self-worth isn't tied to her approval, that he won't tolerate disrespect, and that he has options. This isn't about playing games or pretending to be indifferent. It's about embodying true confidence. A woman will always be drawn to a man who values himself more than he values her validation. Walking away doesn't mean giving up. It means refusing to beg, refusing to lower your standards, refusing to chase someone who isn't meeting you halfway. And ironically, it's this very ability to let go that makes a woman want to hold on even tighter. Because deep down, she knows, if you can walk away, you must be a man worth keeping. 5. A focused man draws women without trying. Nothing captivates a woman more than a man who is driven by something greater than himself. A man with a mission has a fire in his eyes, a direction that commands respect, an energy that sets him apart. He doesn't waste time seeking approval or bending over backward to impress. He's too focused on building, achieving, and conquering his path. This is the kind of man women can't help but admire, not because he tries to impress them, but because his presence alone does. A woman doesn't want to be a man's purpose. She wants to be part of his journey. When a man makes her the center of his world, constantly catering to her, dropping everything at a moment's notice, she may enjoy the attention at first, but deep down, she loses respect for him. A man who is obsessed with her instead of his own goals becomes predictable, too easy, and eventually disposable. The irony is that the more focused a man is on his mission, the more irresistible he becomes. His discipline, his passion, his ability to stay the course no matter who comes or goes, these are the traits that keep a woman intrigued, chasing, and wanting to be part of his story. Because a man with a mission is rare, and anything rare is valuable. 6. Strong men show emotion without losing control. True strength isn't about being an unshakable rock with no emotions. It's about knowing when to reveal vulnerability and when to hold it back. Women are drawn to men who can open up just enough to show depth, but not so much that they seem weak or directionless. This is the paradox of controlled vulnerability. A man who never expresses any emotion comes across as cold and disconnected, while a man who overshares every insecurity loses the sense of mystery and composure that women find attractive. A woman wants to feel a deep connection, but she also craves stability. If a man reveals his emotions in a way that feels intentional, measured, and grounded, it creates trust and intrigue. He's not afraid to be human, but he also doesn't let his emotions control him. This balance makes him appear confident, self-aware, and most importantly, in control of his mind. The mistake many men make is thinking vulnerability means dumping every fear and insecurity onto a woman, expecting her to fix them. That's not attractive. It's burdensome. True controlled vulnerability is about selective openness. It's when a man shares his struggles but frames them with strength, resilience, and a sense of purpose. It's the difference between a man who is emotionally dependent and an emotionally intelligent man. And the latter is the one she won't forget. 7. Women test your strength. Women test men. It's not a conscious choice. It's instinctual. These tests aren't about playing games or trying to manipulate. They are a way for a woman to gauge whether a man is truly as strong as he presents himself to be. A woman might challenge his opinions, push his boundaries, or create moments of emotional turbulence just to see how he responds. Does he stay calm and composed, or does he get defensive and lose control? Strength, in this sense, isn't just about physical dominance. It's about emotional resilience, mental sharpness, and unwavering confidence. A woman wants to feel safe with a man, and that safety comes from knowing he won't crumble under pressure. If a man becomes reactive, desperate for approval, or easily shaken by her challenges, she loses respect for him. But if he remains firm, unshaken, and unaffected by the emotional storm she stirs up, she sees him as a true leader, someone she can trust. The more secure a man is in himself, the less he fears these tests because he understands that they are not personal attacks, but rather a natural part of attraction. A man who knows his worth doesn't need to prove himself every time he's challenged. He simply stands firm in his truth. That quiet confidence, that ability to smile in the face of resistance, is what sets him apart. Women don't test weak men because they already know the answer. They only test those with potential to see if they are truly as strong as they appear. 8. Women respect men who handle rejection with ease. Rejection is inevitable, but how a man responds to it separates the weak from the truly magnetic. Most men fear rejection because they tie it to their self-worth, letting a single no shake their confidence. But a man who understands his value never lets rejection define him. Instead of seeing it as a personal failure, he sees it as part of the game, an opportunity to refine himself, to become even more unshakable. That kind of resilience is rare and incredibly attractive. Women are drawn to men who carry themselves with an aura of certainty, even in the face of failure. When a man shrugs off rejection, it signals that he's abundant, that he doesn't place his entire worth on one interaction, and that he knows his value isn't dictated by external validation. This unbothered energy is intoxicating because it suggests strength, emotional control, and self-assuredness, qualities that women instinctively respect. When a man remains unfazed, he forces a woman to reconsider. Why isn't he affected? Why isn't he chasing? That mystery, that quiet confidence, makes him stand out in a world where most men crumble at the first sign of disinterest. Women don't want a man who begs for approval. They want a man so sure of himself that even rejection becomes just another step forward. 9. The less she knows, the more she wants to know. Mystery is one of the most powerful tools a man can wield. When a man is hard to read, he becomes an enigma, someone who can't be easily figured out or categorized. Women are naturally drawn to intrigue, to the challenge of uncovering what lies beneath a man's composed exterior. The moment a man becomes too predictable, too available, or too emotionally transparent, the allure begins to fade. A man who keeps his emotions measured and his intentions subtle forces a woman to invest more of her thoughts and emotions into him. She starts analyzing his words, questioning his silences, and wondering what he's truly thinking. This mental engagement creates a sense of attachment, a need to figure him out, which only deepens her attraction. When a woman doesn't fully understand where she stands with a man, she remains emotionally engaged, trying to win his attention and unlock the mystery. Being hard to read doesn't mean playing games or being cold. It means maintaining an air of independence, a life outside of her, and a depth that isn't immediately accessible. When a man doesn't reveal everything at once, he creates a sense of anticipation, leaving her wanting more. It's this element of unpredictability that keeps the attraction alive, making her think about him even when he's not around. 10. A man who doesn't chase is the man she wants most. Desire is a powerful force, but the man who is ruled by it is easily controlled. When a man lacks discipline over his impulses, whether for women, pleasure, or validation, he becomes predictable, reactive, and ultimately weak. A man who can't control his desires will chase, beg, and compromise his standards in pursuit of fleeting gratification. This is the fastest way to lose respect, not just from women, but from the world. On the other hand, a man who masters self-control commands attention without seeking it. He doesn't jump at every opportunity for pleasure, nor does he allow his emotions to dictate his actions. Instead, he moves with intention, choosing what aligns with his purpose rather than indulging in every temptation. This restraint makes him powerful. Women sense this energy and are instinctively drawn to it, not because he withholds, but because he values himself too much to be ruled by fleeting desires. True power lies in discipline. The man who can walk away from distractions, who doesn't let lust or validation dictate his behavior, exudes a rare kind of strength. He becomes a challenge, a mystery, and an aspiration. He leads his own life rather than being led by momentary urges. And in doing so, he naturally earns respect, admiration, and influence over his world. Mastering the hidden dynamics of attraction isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding the deeper psychological forces at play. Women are drawn to men who move with certainty, exude presence, and live purposefully. They are irresistibly pulled towards strength, mystery, and emotional control, not because of tricks or tactics, but because these qualities signal a man who is truly in command of himself. The key is not to chase, but to become. Become the man who doesn't seek validation, remains grounded in the face of challenges, and walks away when something no longer serves him. Attraction isn't about words, it's about energy. The quiet confidence of a man who knows who he is and what he stands for. When you cultivate this level of self-mastery, you won't need to demand respect or attention. It will come naturally, and the right people will be drawn to you without effort.